Well, we got a new project. Uh, what's left of one anyway. This was going to be my drift car for the year. Copart told me this ran and drove. Definitely does not drive, it runs, but wheels broke. Inner tie rod is snapped. Let's see, this wheel is broke. The brake rotor is broke. This wheel was stuffed up in there, it wouldn't rotate. It does have some nice lowering springs on it and an arc exhaust. But yeah, she's a little rough. Definitely not as hoped. Somebody conveniently cut the airbag and then took pictures from the other side of it. Did not realize the airbag went off. But I'm not going to give up yet. I'm going to pull this wheel off. We're going to see how bad it really is. Got to make a list of parts to order. But yeah, let's pull this wheel off. Should just take a normal tuner socket, right? Oh, that's lovely. Those aren't even, some of those are barely even on there. Let's pop this wheel off and see what we got. Oh, it has spacers on it. Yikes. And see, that was rubbing all up in there. That's bent. I was trying to see which arms I needed to order. That one looks bent too. There's a good chance they all are bent. Oh yeah, that one's real bad. I don't think that's supposed to look like that. Oh no, it's broke. It's not even connected. And then this knuckle is snapped off right here. It's supposed to be connected over there. So I definitely got to get a knuckle. I wonder if this perch is good, where the spring is. I was going to order a new shock just because, new knuckle, and then a whole bunch of arms apparently. It's ticking. I had to put a battery charger on it, and it's super annoying. Alright, but look at that. The wheel spacer did not fail. Brake rotor did though. So that's fun. Now I gotta go find a socket to get these off of. And pop that off of and make a list and order some parts. Alright, quick update on the Genesis. I got everything disassembled on this girl. I took every arm off of it and ordered a pack of arms, like every single one. While messing with it, I found the diff was broke. Well, the diff cover, and I couldn't find the cover, so I had to buy a whole diff and had to pull the diff out. So, diff is out. Brake caliper ended up being broke. Had to order a new brake caliper, and then as I was disassembling this, the brake line is also broke. If I would focus on it there. Oh, almost got it. Yeah. So we have to cut that off and flare and put a new nut on it. The axle is not broke, but it was so stuck in the hub that I mushroomed the end of this, even though I had a nut on it. It mushroomed the nut and the end of the axle, so I just ordered a new axle. What else? These are all the broken stuffs. That's the broken knuckle. Here's all the arms. There's the wheel hub with the what's left of the rotor on it. I did order and replace the front ball joint, or I guess outer tie rod and inner tie rod, and it's roughly straight, so that part's done. Here's the old one. It actually bent right here. right there, as well as braking right here. And this one wasn't broke, but it looks alright, honestly. But while you're there, you might as well replace it, right? So, first things first today, going to, oh, I should note, all my parts are in, except this caliper. I ordered it through, I think, AutoZone, and it's not here yet. And if it doesn't get here by the time I'm ready for it, turns out a junkyard does have one. So I will just go buy it. Anyway, we gotta get working on the diff. Okay. So, this is the old diff. It is a limited slip one, which is super nice, assuming it works, but that's where it broke. Broke the whole mount, stud, and then you can now see inside of it. I could not find just a rear cover for this. So I bought a whole diff. It came out of a 2-liter, I think, but it has the exact same rear cover. So my thought is I'm going to pull this cover off, slap it on here, and then put this in the car. Keep this guy as a spare, and if I ever end up finding a cover, I'll buy a cover. I'll weld this one. Because, I mean, the whole point of initially buying this car was to make it a drift car. I'm not sure that's going to happen anymore, but I would like to pretend it may. So having a welded diff would be nice. I broke the bolt. Hyundai did not have one within a decent time period, so I went and found and made this setup at the hardware store yesterday. I think it's going to work. So these diffs are actually really easy to pull. It has one bolt here. It has the 2 bolts on those ears, and then just the ones for the drive shaft. So let me get this set up. I have all the gasket maker. Got my 7590. And I'm gonna pull this one off. Probably gonna have to drain it. Probably need to go find an oil pan. Pull this one off. I assumed it's probably drained already since they shipped it. And pull a Swaparooski, let the RTV dry, and when the RTV's set up, we'll fill it up and put it in. I've been waiting because I want to put the diff in first, because if you noticed, the passenger side still had the axle and the hub. I didn't want to screw that side up, so I'm hoping that I can reinstall this and slide it, you know, onto the axle that's hanging there, and then put the axle through this side out to the knuckle and kind of assemble it that way. So I've been waiting on this. This guy showed up yesterday. So let's get started. I'm gonna set up the camera. I'm gonna pull these covers off. Maybe we'll compare the insides. There's not a whole lot of information on these. I was told these were not compatible, but in all due respects, I'm pretty sure they're the same, no matter how you look at it. And I think the 2-liter has a lower gear ratio, which would be better for drifting, worse for highway. Yeah, it says it right there. I think it's got a 3.9, and this one's got a 3.53. But swapping covers. Either way, LSD's going back in. That won't get welded for later. And I just kind of want to get it on the road, make sure it drives before wasting more money on it. But let's get started. All right, well, these bolts are 14s. So we're just going to rip these out and see how much we can spill on the floor. for the second one. You think they'd drain this, right? Would that be your guess? Let's find out real quick. Yeah, the drain plug's loose, so I'm going to assume that it has been drained. At least tried. So let's take this cover off. Ooh, that's dark. The other one only had like a light gray in it, even though I wiped it, but not that bad. Definitely an open diff. As you can see, there's nothing in these spider gears to... Maybe you can't see that because it's dark, but... So that's what an open diff looks like. Because there's nothing in here that ties this side to that side. And then on the... wow, it's collapsing my pen. Let's see if we can do this without spilling more. And there is your torsion, or your limited slip diff. See how that's all encased? I guess we're just hoping it still works, right? If not, we'll weld this guy and throw her in. But I'm gonna clean up this, RTV it onto this one, and then let the RTV cure for a little bit, and then we'll fill it up. All right, we got the diff all cleaned up. We got the edge smooth as can be. I don't know, this is kind of exposed, but I'm ready to put some RTV on it. According to the instructions, you do them finger tight until it oozes out. Let it wait an hour and then torque them. So maybe we'll do that. Set a timer, come back in an hour, and we'll torque them to, I think 30. I'll look it up. All right, we got the diff under the car, getting ready to put it in. Have it on a jack, and if you notice, it has this little prong on the front of it that has to go into the drive shaft, so make sure you do that. And then the instructions with the new axle said to put grease on the C-clip when the axles go in, so they go in straight and that clip doesn't hang up. So I've done it to the other side. I'm gonna try to get it up a little bit and then slide that axle in. All right, well that was a nightmare, but the diff is in. Next step I think will be putting all the arms in. We got the spring perch here, spring, we got the shock, and then 3 other arms. So I'm gonna get started on those. All right, guys, she's alive. After some long battles with this back corner, she is on the road. That's hard to see, but I got the caliper, I got the rotor on, but when I did, I found out that the soft line was leaking, so I had to order a soft line. After I ordered the soft line, it took me a while, but good thing I have good friends. I had to, let's see if I can get a picture of it. There's the new soft line. But I had to flare this on the car, and that was a nightmare. But we got it flared. Let me grab my tripod and we'll do a cold start real quick. Not sure why it's so smoky. It tends to do that on all the startups, but let's go for a drive. 59,000 mile car. One of the lower ones I've ever owned. I even went and got it aligned, and it checked out. Well, I mean, they had to align it, but do not know what the check engine light is for yet. Find out. Sounds good though. But that's her ugly side. The other side looks better. Just gotta decide now if we full send it as a drift car or make it a nice daily driver, because it runs good. Drives fairly nice. Need the next video. We're gonna get matching wheels. I need to tidy up this rear bumper. It's kind of hanging down there. And I need to fix this side here. It's kind of just wedged in there right now. And then there's a dent here, kind of hard to see it, right there. And then side skirt. Need one of those, and then I gotta either repair this fiberglass bumper I have, or find an OEM one. Crash bar would also be nice, especially if we decide to take it drifting. Might change oil in her. Yeah, I think that'll be it. That'll be our first video on the Genesis. Hope you enjoyed. It was quite the nightmare of getting that whole rear corner back here fixed, but she is fixed up, and on to the next video. Hope you enjoyed. Stay tuned.